How do you get negative points? How's that even possible?
You guys seen this movie Electric State? Or is it The Electric State? I can't remember.
Who cares? Who cares?
So the Russo brothers, the directors of some really good episodes of Community and Arrested Development and nothing else, made this movie. Well, their names are attached, but as they've revealed in interviews, AI was used in the production pipeline. So it's almost like a robot made it, which ties quite well into the plot of the movie, being that it's really bad. So it does feel like an AI made it. It's something any 10-year-old could do after watching a TikTok video. Yeah, but TikTok videos don't cost $320 million. They actually cost a little less. It's based on the book and illustrations featured in Simon Stålenhag's The Electric State. Now, these illustrations look good, but they don't really speak to me on an emotional level. To be fair, I haven't read the book, I'm sure they're better in context, but they turned these like really good looking illustrations into this.
Mr. Peanut.
No way.
This speaks even less to me, and I've watched the whole damn movie. I'm sure if I knew who the fuck Mr. Peanut is, I'd find this dystopian portrayal of classic Americana to be bitingly satirical. But unfortunately, I'm lacking the context. I just know that he died at the Super Bowl and then became a baby. Who needs a dystopia when the real world is right in front of you? Yes, one of the characters in this film is Mr. Peanut, the mascot for some brand, probably a peanut butter of some description. Yes, he's voiced by Woody Harrelson, and yes, it is incredibly fucking hilarious. I love how many pop culture references are in this movie.
Everybody likes Zagnuts.
I'm not eating the freaking Masters of the Universe tie-in Zagnuts in the original packaging. I am not dying to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
We found an old Panda Express in the X. Orange chicken, chicken fried rice, pork fried dumplings, all that stuff. It just doesn't go bad.
You know that you can get a refill on any drink you want here, and it's free.
It's a wonderful restaurant.
It sure is.
The movie follows Millie Bobby Brown playing some girl whose family died in a car crash, including her little baby brother, who comes back to life as a robot.
Maybe I should have a talk with your mom?
Turn the page.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! Boom! Boom!
She then has to go on a big adventure to save her brother's real body. Now, based on these pictures from the book, I thought it would be a kind of horror movie, at least in some regard. The movie might be bittersweet, perhaps. You know, we're dealing with dead children here. But, no. It's just cringe MCU-style dialogue.
Why do you have so many keys?
Come on, come on, come on.
I'm a very important man.
Should we just run at this point?
Oh, that's right. That's where they're from. They made Avengers. No, that was Joss Whedon. They made Avengers 2. No, Whedon again. I never watched these ones. What happened to Joss Whedon? Guy who doesn't know what happened to Joss Whedon? They made, the Russo brothers actually made Avengers 3, Infinity War, which, from my recollection, was alright. It was watchable. I haven't watched it since it came out, to be fair. They also did Endgame, which is not as watchable, but it's fine. But their true magnum opus is the TikTok revealing that Martin Scorsese saying that their films are like roller coasters, which isn't even necessarily an insult, lived rent-free in their heads for literal years.
Oscar, show me sadness.
Aw, look, he's got a schnauzer. I love schnauzers. And his name is Oscar. It's really cute, Oscar. Yeah. All right, come on, box office.
Just a really embarrassing thing to post on the internet as a public figure. But the question is, you know, what happened here, guys? This movie is so bad. It's not even really a roller coaster movie because making a roller coaster requires a degree of artistic intent. This movie is just entirely watching the wheels spin. These guys have probably watched a bunch of blockbusters from the last 50 years and did not actually realize that those were created by people with opinions and ideas. So it's a whole movie of watching just meandering plot points. The robots are relegated to like a small piece of desert in southwestern America because of old Willie Clinton.
These acts demand a strong response. As of today, We are at war with the robot population.
Do you remember that scene in Bright starring Will Smith where Joe Rogan shows up? This is just like that. Really stupid. I'm also pretty sure this is one of the examples of the AI voice modulation, which is really funny because that motherfucker is still alive. You had $320 million, but you couldn't ask Bill Clinton to be a robot racist for 30 seconds? I don't think you'd even have to pay him. But really, none of the scenes in this movie surprised me after the Clinton stuff. Boring, poorly directed action, a villain redemption arc, comic relief, CGI characters, fake out humor.
Well, if you think for 1 second that Herm's gonna put you two and me in that van and carry us on his shoulder, you're out of your mind.
More fake out humor, but this time with death, and a sequel tease.
Even though I never beat the original Horizon game, playing Forbidden West felt like returning to a game I've already beaten 50 times.
This formula might have been interesting when Josh Whedon did it back in the fucking Stone Age, but there's such a clear difference between a movie that, no matter how much it looks like they forgot to hire a cinematographer or a lighting department, had a vaguely unique style, and a movie where the characters are so hard to identify with because half of them are witty dialogue machines to no end, and the other half are fucking Mr. Peanut. Not like having sex with Mr. Peanut. Like spiritually Mr. Peanuts. You get what I was trying to say. You get what I was trying to say. The most interesting part of the movie is the ending. Spoiler alert. Basically, her brother was actually leading Millie Bobby Brown to the evil corporation headquarters in order to kill himself.
I think I need to die.
Again, have not read it, so maybe in the book it's more bittersweet, but in the movie, it's just a really unintentionally funny plot point. This is what happens when you make these formulaic ass movies without a care for coherence or tact or emotional expression. Plot points that could be interesting, that could evoke emotion, and that I understand the vague point of, just come out so busted that it is nigh incomprehensible as anything other than an embarrassingly tone-deaf way to end a children's movie. Also, the movie ends with Millie Bobby Brown giving a monologue over a piano cover of Wonderwall.
We're flesh and bone, yeah, but we're also electricity.
Genuinely, what were they going for here? Speaking of bad, holy shit, this post-woman robot.
She is such a bad bitch, though. I will fuck the shit out of that robot, man.
That is a natural-born baddie, as the kids would say.
I'm afraid you're on private property.
As an employee of the United States Postal Service, I have access to this property.
You're on private property. Well, as a member of the United fucking Postalmans, I'm allowed on this property. I think best adapted screenplay is in the bag. And the Russo brothers agree. Joe Russo in an interview claimed that Harvey Weinstein vilified mainstream movies to champion the art films he pushed for Oscar campaigns. Popular films were winning Oscars before the mid-90s. Then Weinstein started mudslinging campaigns. For my money, this is probably the worst thing he's ever done. I hope he's in jail now for all the mudslinging. So ignoring that Oppenheimer won literally last year, the mid-90s, when artsy-fartsy films were bustling in the awards department, let's just look at all these art films that won Best Picture, like Schindler's List, Titanic, fucking Gladiator in 2001, Lord of the Rings in 2004. Listen, these films are good, and they're art, but it's not exactly art house cinema. Like, how can you claim that the mid-90s is like the cutoff date for, like, blockbusters getting into the fucking Oscars? Do these guys think that Infinity War deserved Best Picture? Crazy thing to say in an interview, let alone one promoting the electric state. I can't wait to see this at the award season. Chris Pratt is also in this movie. He's not like a great actor, at least not from what I've seen, but he's charismatic. I don't think I've seen a bad performance from him. He knows what he's doing. He's acting circles around Millie Bobby Brown, frankly.
You wouldn't happen to know how to drive? No, me either. Your brain is the single most annoying thing in my life. It's also the most amazing.
I am a normal person. I am saying things that are normal, I look normal, and I sound normal.
I was wondering why Millie Bobby Brown was so bad in this movie. Like, she's fine in Stranger Things, right? But then I wondered, is she fine in Stranger Things? She's fine in the first season, but she's also playing a mute for most of that season. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, so don't quote me on that. And like, I'm not really going to blame her for being bad in the other seasons, even though she is, because that show really did get pretty bad after the first season. So I can't really blame her for being bad in a bad show. But I guess this is just like her acting prowess. I've only seen her in Stranger Things and that one Godzilla movie, and she was like fine in that. I think. I don't know. You know, it's not like you're paid millions to do this job. Just keep going, honey. You'll get a handle on expressing emotion like a human being eventually. I'm allowed to call her honey because she's actually older than me, so it's not sexist. Am I correct? Comment down below. I'm not really going to blame this girl who's like my age for being bad in movies.
Always remember, Kid Cosmo's your pal.
I feel like it's just the direction. Like, were these the best takes you could get out of this girl? Like, Jesus Christ. But the main concept of the film is that the little brother, after the car crash that killed her whole family, comes back as a robot and leads Millie Bobby Brown to a doctor who can help free him. When they find the doctor, it's the guy from Indiana Jones, and basically it's explained that the evil company, Center, uses the brother's brainwaves to run their combat drones.
Your brother's mind was the breakthrough escape needed to link the neurocasters and the drones.
And that's set up because he's like smarter than Einstein.
That professor said that test took Einstein 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah, then they stole his brain.
Apparently not smart enough to survive a car crash. I think Einstein would be a little bit smarter than that. Remember that doctor I mentioned earlier, like 5 seconds ago? Well, he explains this, and then dies.
Leave him alone!
You really think you're gonna win a gunfight against me, Doctor?
You're not allowed to kill living things, are you?
So you're thinking, oh no, he's the guy who can help her get her brother free. But not to worry, he has actually copied his mind into a robot.
He's my hard drive and friend. He knows what I know.
Dr. Amherst said you were his hard drive, right?
Yes, I knew everything he knew.
Let me repeat that. He was able to copy his own mind and put it into a robot, a machine, a hard drive. So, the main plot of this movie is about a company that wants to use a kid's brain to power machines. And a side plot in this movie is about a doctor who can copy brains, his full brain, according to him and the robot, and put it into a machine. This guy was the head doctor on the case with the brother. He was the guy who hooked him up to the machine to use his brainwaves. So why didn't he just copy the kid's brain to power the machine? It's never explained in the movie why that wasn't the solution, if this is seemingly like a technique that has existed for who knows how long. And when the kid put his brains into the little robot, the drones stopped working.
Neurologically, he's not there.
So it's not the presence of living tissue that matters. It's his brain waves, it's the way his brain works, which can be held within robots, as we know, because the fucking doctor who did the procedure also put his brain into a robot. And the two consciousnesses existed at the same time. Like, maybe read over the script for your movie once? Are you sure AI didn't write the movie as well? There's no way the Avengers movies were like this bad. This is like embarrassing. Away from this, the rest of the movie is also about like robot racism, which for one, I am actually in favor of. You're gonna tell me that robots deserve civil rights? We're not having a Kai Cenat beating the shit out of a robot discourse. These are not humans. This is the same species that industrially kills animals given to us by the Lord's divine grace. Listen, it's fine to eat meat, I do it, but don't come at me with this importance of sentient life bullshit. I don't care if it's problematic in the future. These damn bots, they need to stay in their fucking lanes.
Our people are free.
Your people ain't people.
They're an approximation of a human mind. They're not really sentient. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna fucking blow a goddamn fuse. I mean, blow like my brain, blow up my brain? Because I don't have fuse, because I'm not a robot, guys. I swear. Also, when I say Lord, I mean that in a non-specific sense. Whichever Lord you pray to did that shit. My Lord, his name is Jimmy Beast.
May God have mercy on your soul!
Hey, you know what? All this talk has reminded me of something. Netflix technology, uploaded intelligence. This sounds a lot like Pantheon. You guys seen Pantheon? It's a really good show. If you watched The Electric State and thought that its themes were interesting, you'd probably like Pantheon because it does a bunch of stuff that The Electric State does, but doesn't make me want to cringe my pants. That's... okay. It's basically about a girl whose dad's mind is uploaded into a computer and is forced into digital slavery by a huge tech corporation. It's got good horror moments, it's sweet, and not to spoil anything, but it's really interesting and asks some interesting questions. It's like everything that The Electric State isn't. I might make a big video on it someday, but I'm currently working on another big video like my Primal video, so be prepared for that. So yeah, this movie sucks.
Dog shit!
Goodbye.